This is a question by Haley.
Haley.
H-A-L-I.
Or Haley.
Or Hallie. Or no, hey, I think it's Haley.
Haley? Okay.
I'm going to say it's Haley. What is the best advice you have ever been given?
I got it. One person in acting class told me, because I always had a hard time taking, oh my God, a compliment. A compliment is like a perfume. You spray it. You don't drink the whole bottle. I was like, oh.
Wait a second.
Well, that's not an advice, though.
A compliment is like a...
So a compliment, when somebody compliments you, that was great, or you know, and that's...
Don't get drunk on it. Just like...
Yeah. So in that specific moment, I had just finished a scene in acting class, and I remember we had a director workshop that day, and so the director came up to me, and I guess he gave me some compliments that I was just like, oh, I don't know how to take that. You know, I feel so weird when I'm giving a good compliment, because it's like, you know, actresses, we're always in our head. So it's like a compliment. It's like a perfume. You spray it. You don't drink the whole bottle, because then you don't want it to get it in your head. And
that's how you're receiving it. You receive the compliment as that
spray. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's not an advice. I just realized that.
I mean, yeah, that would
say okay.
Yeah. The best advice I've ever been given. That's hard.
It is. And also, like, sometimes I feel like somebody gives you an advice and you maybe take it in, but maybe it doesn't serve you in that moment and you just forget it. The spray bottle thing, it stuck with me because he was coming from a perspective of like, never let your ego, you know.
Right.
And I like that. I was like, got it. Stay humble. But in terms of advice, I don't know.
You know what? Speaking of compliments, I always had a hard time with receiving a compliment.
Yeah.
I remember always sort of like downplaying it or just saying, no, I mean, thank you, but
yeah,
I don't really. And I remember Annie Gonzalez, I went to this event and Annie Gonzalez complimented me and I said, yeah, I know, but right now she said something about my skin. And I said, but right now I'm breaking up. She goes, no, take that compliment. And that was a reminder to take the compliment. Yeah. Just thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Even if you're not feeling, and that's what I try to teach the kids in my life. I have many friends with kids, and sometimes they don't want to hear that they did great or that they performed well. No, I don't think it's good. If someone says you did a great job, even if you don't think it, just say thank you. Because we wouldn't lie. We wouldn't just say things to say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's something that's really hard to accept or receive when you don't believe it or feel it yourself. But
Brucey feels the same.
Yes.
Have you ever given a compliment and then you've noticed the opposite? I'm like, thank you.
Oh, like to really milk it, like take it.
Like you've given a compliment to a person and then the person reacts very diva-ish, egotistical.
I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The response is always,
yes.
Okay, you could get a sense of a person's
humbleness,
I guess, if you will, ego. With how in which the way they receive a compliment.
The compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always like, okay, I'm never giving you a compliment again. Oh, it's happened. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see the reaction of someone that's like, oh, thank you so much, but I don't know if I can take it, versus thank you. I know. It's very interesting second. But damn, an advice, Kyle. Have you ever received, what's the best advice you've ever gotten? I'm calling out one of our producers.
There's a lot of good ones. Maybe like...
I feel like it comes with a quote.
Right, I'm such a quote.
Whoa, there's a quote, but it was from a movie with our girl J-Lo.
I just remembered it. Go ahead.
It was called, hold on. What we do does not define us. What define us is how well we rise after falling.
Ooh.
But that was a movie. That was a movie she did in New York. you know, it's like a Cinderella-esque
Right.
type of movie. So yeah, and I remember at the end when she's like, I don't know if I should go with him, blah blah blah, and the supervisor at the hotel, what we do does not define us. What defined us is how well we rise after falling.
I like
and
that.
I was like, I love that.
I do remember it. My mom would say the silliest thing, but I loved it because it was so simple and it made a lot of sense. If you don't ASK, you won't GET.
Yeah.
You don't ask, you won't get. And a lot of the times I have stopped myself out of the fear of just fear, period.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't go in and ask that question, or I wouldn't be curious about exactly what I wanted. So at the end, if you don't fucking ask, you're not going to get what you know? And a lot of times I think that came in handy when I was too afraid to do something, even though it's okay. I need this. I want to know more about this, whatever it is.
I burp.
That chicken.
That
That
chicken,
garlic has us burping. So a lot of the times I would sort of resist. I don't know why. I mean, yes, I know why. Just scared that I won't either, you know, get what I needed.
Yeah.
Or just I don't know, just feel that feeling.
Because you don't want
don't
to
wanna-
inconvenience someone when you're asking.
Yeah. But then look at what you're gonna look at the
And
end
then when
result.
you ask, you're like, oh.
Yeah, there's so much of relief of like
why was so scared about that?
it's just a simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Kyle,
It's silly.
you had something?
Oh, there's this. I mean, so many of like these quotes. So there's this one: "How you spend your days is how you spend your life."
Oh, how you spend your days is how you spend your life.
I like that. So
That hit
our
me.
producer Kyle just shared his advice with us. How you spend your days is how you spend your life. And I think
Wow.
that is lovely. It's so
Yeah.
true though.
Next time we get an advice, I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah, right. Let's just keep a tab in our notes.
Yeah.
Just all the little nuggets of life lessons we receive from people.